Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just an update here on AMD. I've talked about them a couple times here on the channel, and I don't have any shares of them right at this point in time. As you watch my older videos, I did sell this one for a minor profit. I'll go over that. It'll make you laugh. That actually took place a couple of years ago, but they got some information coming out. I still follow them. I just have not purchased any of AMD. I have some NVIDIA and some other semiconductors. Intel is my biggest holding. But this is AMD. In the past year, they're up over 24%. Here in the last 3 months, they're down about 21%. In the last month, they're down over 13%. In the last week, they're down about 4.5%, and here's a look at what they're doing today, up over 3%. If you don't know much about AMD, they're a semiconductor business founded in 1969. The device computer you're watching this on might have a AMD chip in it. The laptop that I have is a Acer with an Intel chip, but I have seen quite a few laptops with an AMD chip in them. So again, founded in 1969, volume of 66.96 million, average volume of 111 million, market cap of 140 billion, and a 52-week low of 72.50, high of 164.46. And here's a look at their ratings: 55% buy, and earnings last was estimated at 76 cents, and they did an actual 92 cents, so just kind of totally beat earnings. And as you can see, they've beat, looks like, every time. So AMD's had a lot going for it in the last year or so, and I wish I would have purchased this one, picked up some more shares, but unfortunately have not. So here you can see all the articles and the news and everything in regards to AMD. So like I said, I did have shares of this at one point in time, and just about 4 years ago. So you'll laugh, it looks like I bought them for $12.80, and about 5 months later sold them for $18.65, which I thought was a hell of a profit. It actually was. Could have doubled my money in time, but didn't. But now going forward, you can see what it would have turned into if I would have just held them. But that's besides the point. When it was in the $70 or $80 range here, I was considering buying some of this one, but as you can see, I did not. So anyway, we fall forward instead of backwards. That's how the channel got its name. Over here on Microsoft Bing, currently showing it as a buy with a 1-year price target of $153.59. And over here on Yahoo Finance, here's why Barron's believes this chip stock has beaten AMD and NVIDIA. And I've talked about NVIDIA a couple times here on the channel as well. Here, and you can see this one just came out today, so a couple hours ago. And here's a couple tickers that we'll go over. Since 2020, chip stocks are up 82%, easily beating the 54% gain for the NASDAQ composite. Big names like AMD and NVIDIA have gotten much of the attention, but a little known chip maker has beat them all. Synaptics. I've heard about them once or twice, haven't really looked into them. Might need to do a video on them separately just to kind of break them down. Once a low-key provider of chips used for PC touchpads, mobile phone screens, and fingerprint scanners, Synaptics has turned itself into a play on the Internet of Things, or IoT, some refer to it as, which I've talked about that here on the channel as well. Even though I do talk a lot about MJ, and I do talk a lot about semiconductors, EVs, and quite a few other things, but the majority of it probably is MJ. That's what everybody wants to talk about. So Internet of Things, which aims to bridge the physical and digital worlds, the author notes. In recent months, through synaptics, those synaptics had been caught up in the broader tech sell-off, with shares down 28% from their December peak. SYNA shares closed lower 3.05% at $212.11 on Friday. And here it looks like they're maintaining it as a buy. So, like I said, I'll have to do a video on that one and break it down as well. AMD closes record chip industry deal with about $50 billion purchase of Xilinx. And again, this is dated here today, just a couple hours ago. Race to 5G, so everything's going to be 5G here. I've talked about 5G quite a few times. Talked about AT&T, Verizon, Internet of Things, some other 5G stocks. So, Reuters, a semiconductor design AMD, said on Monday that it had finalized the purchase of Xilinx in a record chip industry deal valued at about $50 billion. Closing of the deal comes on the heels of NVIDIA Corp abandoning its plans to buy SoftBank-owned ARM, citing regulatory hurdles. AMD's transaction moved ahead with all necessary approvals for the acquisition, it said. The deal announced in October 2020 was originally valued at $35 billion, but the rise of AMD stock has pushed up the price tag, according to AMD. The purchase of Xilinx helps AMD capture a large number of approximately $135 billion market opportunity we see across the cloud, edge, and intelligent devices, said AMD CEO Lisa Su in a statement. Transaction comes as AMD intensifies its battle with Intel, and like I said, I've talked about them numerous times. That's my biggest holding. Does give a small dividend, but the stock does not appreciate nothing like AMD, so it's just kind of stagnant, if you will. It has went up. I consider it just to be like AT&T. It gives a decent dividend, doesn't really go down, but it just barely goes up. So, and that's what she said. So, the two U.S. companies have benefited from a more nimble approach to grabbing market share from Intel, which has struggled with internal manufacturing. AMD has long been Intel's chief rival for central processing units, or CPUs, in the personal computer business. I've done videos on Intel. They're just kind of the sleeping giant. They've just been so big for so long, just kind of like Walmart, and never got out of their shell and just took over the market. And then along comes things like Amazon and Costco and grabs some of the shares from them. It's the same thing with Intel and AMD. So they're just laying around sleeping and getting lazy and not moving forward, and then AMD just comes along and slingshots around them. So that's why it's good to diversify, but I wish I would have kept my AMD shares. But moving on, why AMD shares are trading higher today, and this is just 3 hours ago. Shares are trading higher following the completion of the company's Xilinx acquisition. AMD expects the acquisition to be accretive to non-GAAP margins, non-GAAP EPS, and free flow generation for the first year. Acquisition of Xilinx brings together a highly complementary set of products, customers, and market, combined with a differentiated IP and world-class talent to create the industry's high-performance and adaptive computing leader, said AMD President and CEO Dr. Lisa Su. Upon close, Xilinx stockholders received 1.7234 shares of AMD common stock and cash in lieu of the fractional shares, and AMD common stock for each share of Xilinx common stock. AMD stock was trading 3.4% higher at $117.10 per share on Monday. At the time of publication, the stock has a 52-week high of $164.46 and a 52-week low of $72.50. So quite a range in there, almost a $100 range. AMD closes record chip industry deal with about a $50 billion purchase of Xilinx, and again some more information about that, so we'll just kind of scroll through here and see if there's anything that we have not yet discussed. The deal announced in October 2020 was originally valued at $35 billion, but the rise of AMD stock has pushed up the price tag according to AMD. Combined company will have over 15,000 engineers and completely outsource manufacturing strategy that relies heavily on Taiwan Semiconductor. I talked about them once or twice. I don't have any of Taiwan Semiconductor, but like I said, it's good to diversify. And you'll just have to pick whichever one's your favorite and hold the most shares in. Obviously, by the sounds of this video, it'd probably be AMD in regards to the way they're appreciating, but each to his own. So through 580,000 into call options today, AMD is up 10%. Solid. That'd be a nice payout. We'll see what they do tomorrow. Crush the earnings again. And currently at 116.62 with a low of 72.50, high of 164.46. Over here on StockTwits, looking forward to $120 tomorrow. We'll see what this one does throughout the rest of the week. Big drop there, move it to 120. So it looks like 120 to 125 by the end of the week is what people are considering it. So over here on MSN Money, currently showing it as 116.41 with a buy. And here on TipRanks, currently at a moderate buy with a 34% upside to 156.95, high of $200, low of 125. So even a call on this one might be an option. So as you can see, it's touching the 118, so it could be a $120 stock, and possibly by the end of the week. You just have to wait and see. Or even 119, so that would be pretty expensive to do a call on that one. But basically, you take this by times 200, so that'd be $221 for a $120 call. Might be an option. If you have AMD, go ahead and list that in the comments, along with your cost basis, any other information you'd like to share on this one, and if there's any other semiconductors out there you want me to take a look at, I'd be happy to look at those as well. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.